What's up, everybody? So, that's a lot better. So, first week of the challenge is done, and I feel super great. I honestly thought I was going to be, I thought the first like couple of days I would have been motivated and like super enthusiastic, and then like day four, day five, I would have started like thinking that all the like negative thoughts would start coming in, and I would have been like having this back and forth, like, oh no, go back to like when it was easier, when you can just watch TV and play video games and eat bad food and go to sleep late. And honestly, it's like had the opposite effect. It's only a weekend, maybe it could change in the future, but like this whole week I've just been focused and I've just been having so much fun just growing my business. I've been feeling just so fulfilled. Like every day I wake up at 5:30, work out, go to the office between like 8:30 to 9 and just like work, prospect, like make phone calls trying to get new business. I've been even on TikTok, which has been just so much fun. Like before, I would have this like procrastinating and like lazy like approach to it, like, oh, like I'll do it tomorrow, or like, oh, I'll do. And it wasn't just TikTok; it was just all of social media. Like it would just be like, oh, I'll do this tomorrow, or like, oh, I don't really want to, or like, oh, but it's so much easier to just do nothing. I don't know. It's just been just having been like having such a blast, just like thinking of ideas. And like that's the other thing that I've noticed, because I cut out all these like negative dopamine hits. My brain isn't focused anymore on them, so I don't have this like back and forth anymore, where like a part of my brain is pulling at me saying like, oh, let's just do all this other stuff. It's like because I cut out all these distractions, my brain doesn't want to be bored, and it, because like my thing is I'm either working now, and if I don't want to work, I have to be bored. I can't use distractions to fill up that time. So now when I don't do anything, it's like my brain is constantly working like, ooh, how can I grow my business? Like, what are some cool ideas that I can come up with that I can incorporate into real estate, into making videos? And it's just made me like super focused, and I've just been like completely enjoying the whole process. So like I've been posting a lot more on TikTok. Our broker actually hired somebody that has been helping us tremendously, and just really, really just helping us just have laser focus, and giving us like a lot of great ideas and tips. And then the other thing is, well, let's say I'd work till 5, 6, whatever it is. I'd come home and I just want to watch TV and just kind of like, oh, this is my relaxation time. If I can't relax right now, then I'm going to be burnt out tomorrow, which is complete BS. It's like, no, this relaxation, killing my brain with entertainment won't relax me. It won't help me feel refreshed. It actually did the complete opposite. So before I would, do my thing, like real estate, work at my job, build my business, come home, and then kill my brain with just meaningless distractions, and just really didn't help me grow my business to where I wanted to be and at the rate that I wanted to go. But now it's like I'm constantly learning, and I'm constantly just working on growing my business. So I will come home now, and instead of killing my brain with dumb shit that I don't really need in my life, I feel even more energized, because now I'm like learning about things that can actually help me succeed. And before this, I would have just the hardest time. Like I'm like, oh, I know I really need to learn this topic because it'll help me, grow as a person. So I should really do this, and then I'll just procrastinate and never do it. But like now, it's like I switched my brain and how it operates, and now it's because I don't have these distractions. It gets excited to do the things that I didn't want to do before, or was hard for me to do. So like literally in the past 2.5, 3 days, I spent like 12 hours learning about negotiations. And I've been listening to this guy Chris Voss, who has like a lot. He was a like an ex terrorist negotiator, like a kidnap negotiator, and he had just so many great points on negotiation and like how to deal with people because negotiate like when he was negotiating with kidnappers, he mentions that hey, you can use these tactics in everyday life, whether it's business, whether it's family, anybody you can do this. If you're talking to a human being, you can use this with anybody. It's crazy the things he says because it's not like, hey, you're trying to manipulate people. It's just everybody has wants and needs and their wants and needs are emotional. So when you talk to them, that's pretty much where you pretty much hit them like directly emotionally, and it actually opens people up to communicate better. So for example, he was talking about like no versus yes, how it's way better to get an agreeable no than a yes from somebody. For example, let's say I'm talking to a client and I'll say something like, hey, are you opposed to putting an offer on this house? And if they really like the house, they'll say no. But that's an agreeable no, where that no means yeah, let's put an offer in. I love this house, rather than a yes, because a yes is more of a commitment. And when somebody feels that because they said yes, they need to commit to something, they feel a little bit more guarded. So getting like an agreeable no is way better in the long run. Some other things is like mirroring people. Like let's say says something, but you want them to kind of expand on it. Let's say, oh yeah, I went to the gym yesterday and I was benching 350. I don't go to the gym, so I don't know why I'm using this example, but I was benching 350, and you want to know more about that, so you say benching 350, like with like a upward spike, and it kind of sounds like you're curious. So people, this is more of a situation where obviously the person will explain if you ask them. But let's say if it was like a negotiation or something where the person's a little more guarded, if you ask them the mirroring question by saying the last 1 to 3 words with a curious tone, they're more likely to say what they're actually feeling. Another good one is like calling out a negative. Let's say you're talking to somebody as far as negotiation wise, and you feel like something's off. Like you feel like they're not 100% on board with what you're saying. So instead of like trying to ignore it or trying to deny it, he says that you should embrace it 100%. So if somebody is not 100% there, you just say, "Sounds like something's bothering you." And because you're not asking them a question, you're kind of assuming that they're feeling a certain way. Our like natural reaction is to just jump full force and actually just say what's on our mind. So it's like perfect like little things that if you want somebody to kind of say what they're feeling, don't ask them. Just assume what they're feeling. Like, oh, sounds like something's bothering you. Sounds like you don't really like this idea. Like things like that. It's just insane the amount of stuff that I've learned just about negotiations, and I've been like using it with people that I've been dealing with, and I've just seen like the difference because in the past I've had different habits, and I've been trying to break these, like knowing this knowledge right now, and it's just people respond to me a lot differently. Like if somebody's mad at me and like they're yelling at me or whatever, they're just upset with me, instead of like fighting back or trying to be guarded and try to defend myself. One, I'll fully listen to what they're saying, and then I'll summarize their emotions. Just like somebody's mad at me, I'll just be like, "Sounds like you're really upset," or I understand that if you don't know what's going on, your client might be mad at you, and it just seems like it's very unfair to you that you're not being told what's going on 100% of the time. So things like that, people are caught off guard because you're explaining and you're pretty much owning up to what they're feeling, and you're not trying to deny anything, which kind of lets people's guards down, and it opens more of it opens up the ability to kind of actually have a communication going. So I mean, just alone in that, and I actually bought his book, Never Split the Difference. So today, so I'm just reading that right now, and it's just amazing. But yeah, that was my week last week, this past week, and it's just been uphill. And I'm pretty excited to see what the next 3 weeks kind of look like. And I don't know, I after the 30-day challenge, I'm already seeing all the benefits of the things that I've changed now. So now and I think I'm gonna do it in the last week. I'm gonna start thinking of like what things I can allow in my life, but at like limited portions, and what things I should completely just cut out of my life. Like one, I know video games completely done. Can't do it. Too obsessed over video games. Not a good thing for me. And YouTube, I think that's a big one that I just get moments where I just overconsume YouTube videos. So that's a huge one that I need to let go of as well. But until that time comes, who knows? I'm just really enjoying the process right now. So till next time.